Now the very first assembly that we are going to create is of universal joint. A universal joint is a joint or coupling connecting rigid rods whose axes are inclined to each other and is commonly used in shafts that transmit rotary motion. It consists of pair of hinges that we call fork, and they are oriented at 90 degrees to each other, and they are connected by a cross shaft that we are calling center block here. I have made this assembly beforehand for reference in order to have a better understanding of how each and every components are connected to each other. Now let's start with the assembly. Just click on new design. Let's save it, Ctrl S. Let's name it universal joint exercise. And as you can see in the browser itself, the untitled status is changed to the name of the file itself. So this we are calling as a head assembly. This one is the head assembly. Now the first component that we are going to create is this fork. I have hidden all the other components because we are going to create each and every component one by one. So first we are going to create this particular component, the fork. So for this, go to assemble toolbar. Always go to assemble toolbar when you are trying to create a new component. Let's name it as fork. Invoke rectangle command. The keyboard shortcut is R, and select any of the vertical plane. Let's select this one. And as you can see, as soon as we have invoked the rectangle command, we are having a sketch palette over here in which we are having option to change the type of rectangle we are going to make. Let's select center rectangle from here. And then provide any dimension. Because all the assemblies that we are going to create in this course are not two-dimension. Because my aim is to make you familiarize with the assembly making process in Fusion 360. You can incorporate dimensions as per as your requirement or as per as your client's requirements. I will let you know wherever some crucial dimensions are required as per we move forward in the course. So let's select any dimension for now. Click on finish sketch. Select this region. Press pull. And then select this particular face. Invoke the circle command by pressing C in the keyboard and create a concentric circle. Again, let it be of any dimension. Press pull this one outwards and click on OK. So we are done with this particular section of this particular component. Now we will be creating this profile. Now for this we will select this particular face, invoke the circle command, trace the origin, make a bigger circle, and then inside a smaller circle whose dimension we are going to remember. Let it be like 15, or better make it 18. Invoke the line command by pressing L in the keyboard. Select this particular point and select a point in which tangency constant is being made, as you can see here. Similarly here. And if by mistake you have lost the tangency constant, you can always get it from here. Select the line, select the circle. And let's trim some unwanted areas. Finish the sketch. Select this region, press pull it downwards. Now as you can see, we need this particular profile in the bottom as well. So what we will do, we will invoke the mirror command. Select the feature, select a mirror plane and click on OK. So this here creates our first component, that is fork. Now we have to create another component, fork number 2, which is like 90 degrees inclined with fork number 1. Now for this, in order to propagate to second component, we are going to make a slight adjustment here. We are going to use the inspect toolbar and component color cycling toggle. The shortcut for the same is Shift plus N. When we click on here, the color of your component is changed. And as soon as we create new components, its color will be also changed. Same thing is happening here as well, because it happens in all the files in Fusion 360. Now invoke or basically activate the head assembly. Left click and select this particular component, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Just drag it outwards, rotate it by 180 degrees and again rotate it by 90 degrees. And our second fork is also created. Notice it is having the same color as the first component because it's a carbon copy of the first component. As soon as we create a new component, its color will be changed. That is the beauty of this particular tool, component color cycling toggle. Now next, what we need a center block. For this, again, just see if the head assembly is activated or not, and then go to assemble toolbar, new component. Let's name it center block. Select this particular face and invoke the circle command. The outer circle should touch the outer circle of the profile, and the inner circle is obviously 18 millimeter that we have chosen. Select this profile, press pull it, and make the extend type as to object, and select this surface. Obviously the operation would be new body for a new component. Click on OK, and as you can see, this new component is having a different coloration. So this comes very handy when you are creating a very huge assembly and you need to maintain order with separate components. Now activate this center block only, and here we will create certain sketches. Create a sketch on this particular plane. Let's create a circle somewhere over here of any dimension, but the inside circle should be of 18 millimeter. This we are doing because we are going to fit a pin in between this. Finish the sketch. Let's hide these two forks as of now, and now just measure the distance of this one. This is 60 millimeter. So what we will do, we will select this profile, right click, press pull, let the direction be symmetric, and the distance should be 60 divided by 2, and operation should be join. So this created our center block. Now let's activate the head assembly again. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create this particular pin now. So for this, again go to assemble toolbar, new component. Let's name it fork 1 pin. Click on OK. Now select this particular surface, invoke the circle command. Select the profile and again make the extend type as to object and select this particular surface. Click on OK, select this, press pull, let it be like 5 mm up, and the same thing in the bottom as well, 5 mm. Now here let's create a circle of bit larger diameter. Select this profile, right click, press pull. Again to object, and object would be this one, and operation is join because it's a part of this component only, the fork pin. Now next we are going to create this particular collar. For that, what we will do, we will again activate the main component, main assembly, head assembly. Go to new component, let's name it collar. Select this particular surface, invoke the circle command, let it be of any dimension, finish the sketch, press pull it, extend type again to object, operation would be obviously new body, and click on OK. Now activate the head assembly again, and this time select this particular face and create a tangent plane. Now on this plane, let's create a circular hole. Now in order to do that, we need a point to snap somewhere. So what we will do, we will project this particular area and click on OK. And just create a line from the midpoint of this to midpoint of this one. And let's convert it into a construction line. Now from the midpoint of this construction line, let's create a circle, and let's remember its dimension as well. It's 3 mm. Finish the sketch. Select this, right click, press pull, and cut through all. Notice that we are cutting through one component and it is cutting through the second component as well, because the head assembly is activated. Now almost all the components are made. Now the only thing is that is remaining is to create identical components. So this collar and this pin, these two components, this collar and this fork pin, will go here as well. So we have to create a copy of these two. So just control and select both of them, Control C, Control V, and just drag it outwards. And it has created two new components. Now the last component would be a lock that has to go between these. So for this, we will again go to Assemble toolbar, new component. Let's name it lock. And let's create a sketch on this plane only, somewhere over, let's say here. And as you can remember, the dimension of the lock should be 3 mm. Now we have to press pull it outwards to create a 3D model. Now how much to press pull, that we have to inspect from here. That would be dimension of this collar. It is like 26.833 mm. So we will be extruding it 26.833. Click on OK. Now we need one more lock, so we will again activate the head assembly. Left click on lock, Control C, Control V, and one more lock is created. And now we are officially done with all the components. Let's drag them outwards and see. So we have two forks, two collars, one center block, two pins for fork and two lock pins. Now it's time to create the assembly. All the components are here. Now we have to provide joints. Now in order to do that, now first let's revert the position by clicking here. Now in every assembly we need to ground one particular component, on the basis of which all the other joints, all the other components will be clubbed together. So here we will be grounding the center block. That means all the other components are free to move right as of now, but this center block will not move. Let's drag all the components out and let's start providing joints. So for joint, again we have to go here, or we can use the keyboard shortcut J. Select this particular face and select this particular face. This joint should have motion of revolute. Now for the next one, again click J on the keyboard. Select this particular face and select this particular face. You have to be very vigilant when you are creating the joints. You need to understand which particular face or which particular portion of the component should go where. Here also the motion is revolute and click on OK. Next is providing these pins. Just select this particular face and this particular face. It should not be a revolute, it should be a rigid one, and click on OK. And let's see if this is rotating or not. Yeah, it's rotating. Now attach a collar to this pin. Click on joint. Select this particular edge basically and this particular edge. Similarly here also. And then just attach these lock pins. Select this particular edge and select this particular edge. Similarly here also. Select this and select this. Now our assembly is fully complete. But as you can see, when we are rotating, it is overlapping with other component. Same things is happening here as well. So what we need is some limits. We can provide limits to all these joints by going to browser and selecting the respective joints. Let's select this particular joint. Right click and edit joint limits. Let's select the right face so that we can clearly see what is happening, or better select the top face. Now for universal joints, the ideal limit is between -32 to 30 degrees. So we will be using that. Initially provide the rest position that is at 0 degree as of now, and then provide the minimum as minus 32 and maximum as 30. Just animate it and see. Perfect. Click on OK. Same thing we have to provide with this particular joint. Let's go to the right view. Rest is at 0. Minimum as minus 32 and maximum as 30 degrees. And click on OK. Hide the joint. And our assembly is officially complete. The color that you are seeing here is because of this component colored cycling toggle. You can switch it off as soon as your assembly is completed, and you will see this kind of gray coloration in all the components. And then you can go to the render workspace and provide the rendering of your choice, just like here.